What's good, homie? Got the city on my back. Big paper if you tryna get me on the track. Don't rap for scraps, need a full course meal. Vic blockaders like a fucking force field. Realer than the rest, better than the best. Smack Superman, took the fucking S off his chest. Fresh in the flesh, popping like a new hit. Turn down that bullshit and turn up my new shit. Yeah, my swag make love to the rhythm. Feeling good like I got some drugs in my system. Puffing on that potent, sipping on that yak. Standing on the corner dealing, gripping on that Mac. Spitting shots back at the pole 9 rapid. Rusty jukes back with a motherfucking classic. Blast it, put it in your car on highest. I stay grounded, still I'm the motherfucking flight. BK to France, this is how we rock. Another shot's fired, another body drop. BK to France, this is how we kill. 24/7, man, this shit is real. BK to France, this is how we rock. Another shot's fired, another body drop. BK to France, this is how we kill. 24/7, man, this shit is real. Bitch, what that mouth do? I ain't never doubt you. I ain't got no feelings, I don't give a fuck about you. Pull up in the Lexus, straight off the dealership. You be with that fake crowd, I be on that realer shit, killer shit. Laying on the roof with the scope out. Laid 3 bodies down, everybody broke out. Mayhem, homie, I'm the backstreet terrorist. Famous, they carving my face on Mount Everest. Oh shit, keep your mouth shut, you don't know shit. No stopping, getting that cash, I gotta go shit. Fuck up on my way, buck about the cave. Run up in your crib, leave you right where you stay. Put me in the top 10, nigga, I'm the greatest. When I'm on the West Coast, nigga, I'm the greatest. Break through your team and crush your quarterback. Me, Cleaver, Flow, yo, I slaughter track. BK to France, this is how we rock. Another shot's fired, another body drop. BK to France, this is how we kill. 24/7, man, this shit is real. BK to France, this is how we rock. Another shot's fired, another body drop. BK to France, this is how we kill. 24/7, man, this shit is real. BK to France, this is how we rock. Another shot's fired, another body drop. BK to France, this is how we kill. 24/7, man, this shit is real. BK to France, this is how we rock. Another shot's fired, another body drop. BK to France, this is how we kill. 24/7, man, this shit is real. Yeah. Classic.
Yeah. Think 'cause you see a nigga in the streets, moving how I move, doing a little video, little show and shit, that I don't be going through it or whatever, But I'm a person, you feel me? I'm ready. Yeah, be going through it. Gianna, I know you got a lot of questions that you wanna ask, but the truth's, me and your mother was never gonna last. As every spring chill came, every summer passed, one of us would call it quits just to come running back. Love's never easy, I know that. And even though I wish we could, I know we can't go back to the way it was back then, like a throwback. That's why I'm sitting here reminiscing on these Kodaks. Damn, all I wanted for you was what I never had. For you to wake up every morning and to see your dad, a big house, Shaolin, and your brother too. I thought of everything I wanted for us to do, but now it's like, damn, what this world coming to? I really thought that we was gonna be the Huxtables, but now that's all gone. I can't tuck you in, you tell me you love me, and I tell you that I love you too. Damn. I sit back and just look at your pictures and help you go away from pain. Let me so deep that I think about you. I can't think, damn. There ain't no me without you. So I don't even think about where I would be without you. You know, I love you. Julia, I know I got things I gotta explain. And for me to make it right, that I gotta change. I'm trying to find the meaning of this pain, because it hurts knowing that we'll never be the same. Damn, I never meant to be gone so long, missing birthdays, sitting in that penitentiary. By the time I realized what it meant to me, I already missed your first day of elementary. Beauty, you the reason why I stay in this booth when I feel tired, the reason why I stay in recoup. I made a promise to give you a better life than the one I had, and everything I saying is true. I'm so proud of you. You a big girl, you learned all by yourself what I couldn't teach you how to do. Now I'm doing what I gotta do. That's crazy. Cause the bond me and you got is something that I'm never trying to lose. Damn. I don't want you to ever think that. Cause every time you go away from me, the pain in me so deep that I can't think. I can't sleep, man. Cause every time you go away from me, the pain in me so deep that I can't sleep. I can't think. Not a day goes by that I don't think about you, and some nights I don't sleep. Sometimes I smoke weed and I don't eat, cause I got stress on my mind and it won't leave. Dang, I'm only saying what I feel, and I wouldn't even say this if it wasn't real. I never got to see your first steps, and I still wish your mother would've just let me know the deal. I can't lie, when I found out you was mine, I thought how I'm gonna be a father to my daughter doing time. I started thinking about my life, mistakes that my father made were his, and what I'm gonna do with mine. Anaya, just know that I would give my life for you. And if I had the world, I would give it right to you. But know that if you ever dealing with a man, I'ma tell you if I think he ain't right for you. Definitely from my heart. I want y'all to know that every time you go away from me, nothing in the world works so deep that I can't think, I can't sleep. You go away from me, but you always in my heart. Cause every time you go away from me, the pain in me so deep, I can't think, I can't sleep.
What's going on, world?
What up, world?
Welcome to another episode of the mighty Chop Shop Radio.
Chop.
I am your host, Nabi Reality.
And I'm your host, S. Perez.
Got Showcast.
AKA what?
Nigga that's always on the phone, not paying attention.
That's that dude right there.
I'm just making sure, everybody's, in tune with us. Making sure everybody's good. You know what I'm saying? Making sure
Every time.
Yo,
That's it. Showcast in the building. You got Cash over there on the boards.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta make sure everything is going, everything is all right. How's my headphones? Turn my head. Fisticuffs. You ever seen it on Dave Chappelle? Fisticuffs.
Turn them up.
So what's up, y'all out there in the wizard? Welcome to the Chop Shop Radio. You know what I'm saying? Brought to you by the Universal Collective and the Woo Worldwide DJ Coalition. So let me talk about that just a little bit. I don't know, what is today's date? The 7th?
What is it?
Today is December 7th, 2017.
Today's the December 7th? Is that what it is?
7th of December.
Is that what it is? December 7th? Is that what
Me
it
and
is?
Nabi need to get our days right.
This the day Jesus was conceived.
Was it?
No, it wasn't the day Jesus was conceived.
Yeah, don't ask me no questions.
That's it.
I'm not really sure if you...
It is Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
That is today.
What we used to justify bombing a bunch of women and children. There you
go.
Let's all right now. And I don't want to offend anybody's family that is in the military or any super proud, ultra blinded by bullshit patriotic Americans or anything like that. And I my before I go into this, so that I am
Disclaimer alert.
I'm not really super super pro military, but I understand why we need a military. But I mean, I understand. But just before we go into this, I would just like to say,
You know what? We don't need a military. If two countries declare war on each other, you know what should happen?
What?
The two leaders should fight. The two motherfuckers that declare war,
Put them in the ring. Put them in the ring. Cage match.
Yeah.
Cage match style. That's it.
You know what? That's,
Kim Jong
Two women, one man out.
yes,
Kim Jong Un versus fucking Trump.
and you know what? And I would tell you. So I just wanted to say real quick that my uncle, God rest his soul, he recently passed away a couple months back. My uncle. Stephen Reed, God rest his soul. I didn't get to see him on his deathbed. He passed away in the Midwest a couple of months ago. He was like a 2-star general in the Army, and my grandfather, he came over from the island of Puerto Rico to the United States in the Navy, and he was also a Golden Gloves champion in the Navy and boxer. So my family has a long history in the military. So, and I have friends that died in Iraq. You know what I'm saying? That died. So, you know, I have my mixed opinions, but I support the people that, you know, fight for what they believe in. But anyways, what I'm saying about the whole celebration of Pearl Harbor, I get it, right? Like a lot of people were dead, but what I don't understand is, and I guess some people would say, well, we're gonna kick ass. Like, Pearl Harbor was hit, but Pearl Harbor was a military situation. We went over and bombed women and children and dropped atomic bombs and destroyed the lives of children. Not only did we do that,
Generations
upon generations.
Not only did we do that, but we put so much toxicity in their environment that people were born with birth defects.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, still to this day.
Yeah, till this day, them just generations are still feeling it. Yeah.
It's like, so people would be like, well, that's what we gotta do. We're America. But you would say that about America. The same people that would say that would say, lock me up if somebody punched me in my face and I went and got a gun and I shot him. And their brother and sister.
At the same time,
right?
I'm be devil's advocate.
You always have to be the devil's advocate.
But a lot of times, I'm really saying how I feel. I'm just not being devil's advocate.
Okay.
Just for the sake
just
of being
for the is that for the record?
Yeah, that's for the record.
Okay.
On record.
For the record.
It's on the record.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah, I really feel that way. I'm not just saying it. Just,
if it is a DJ disclaimer,
yeah,
it's DJ. I have to argue with whatever Nabi says.
so it's almost like, all right, the gloves off type thing. You gonna sneak up on us and bomb our people? Then fuck you. I got no respect for you. I'm gonna do whatever I want to do to your people. That's almost like, even though it's like, you know, the innocent people was involved and whatever. But it's it's like one of those things. Like, all right, you came to my house and you smacked me in my house in front of my kids. You're gonna take it to the next level. You're not gonna be like, I'm just gonna go to the house and smack you in front of your kids too. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not
Put the
saying that.
smack down on you and them.
And your kids too.
And the kids too. I'm thinking everybody getting it.
I'm not saying that you don't have a valid point. I'm not saying that you don't have a valid point, but okay, all right. So let's look at it on a deeper perspective. Then, do you think that our reactions as a country that extreme have somehow created the environment where we have nowadays people blowing us up and doing shit because they're sick of us acting like that?
Oh my God, Judah!
We got a special guest in the building.
Yeah,
Say hi, Judah. Look over the camera, that one. Look over that one. Say hi. You brought say hi over there. Look, that one right there. Look, right there.
Whoa.
All right.
DCIF. Wait. Answer your question. Yeah. Because
do you think there's a correlation between our dealing with modern day terrorism in our country, and how we treat other countries?
Because, think about it like this: we've been the bully for a long time,
yeah.
And you got to think about it. We was the strongest nation in the world for a long time, but it was all built on lies, though.
Yeah.
Right.
Our whole history is built on lies. And the other countries.
We're number one is a lie. We're not number one.
Not anymore.
Other countries have free healthcare, free college, less crime rates. What are we number one in?
Yeah,
drug intake.
There you go.
Incarceration rate.
Yeah.
That what it is? Freedom o'clock.
Can I get it? Hallelujah.
Yeah, so
holla back.
So now all these So now all these other countries are starting to realize the bullshit that they've been fed the whole time to make them think that we were the greatest nation in the world.
We've never been number one.
And now, nobody likes to feel like they've been lied to. Like, you know what I'm saying? That pisses people off. Like,
you know what America is? You know what America is? You know what America is? America is when you find out. America is like a multi-level disappointment. It's like when you first find out. It's like your first level of knowledge. You find out that Santa Claus isn't real. Then you find out that Santa Claus is it has nothing to do with the concept of Jesus. Then you go even deeper,
and then you find out it's not even Jesus' real birthday.
And you uncover the more dark, sinister, pagan, satanic level of stuff. America, I always said America's like that big brother, right? But when we got hit in 9/11, right? It's like America, and I, like I said, I've lost friends in 9/11, and I could never talk badly about any of the people that died in 9/11, and I feel bad for the people that passed away, and it was an atrocity, right? It was a great atrocity what happened at 9/11, right? I mean, it used to be a very sensitive issue now because time is going on. But like with 9/11 is like the way we rallied around, and like 9/11 was like, I said this to somebody, I said it's sort of like America's like a big brother who comes home every night with cookies and DVDs and video games for you, and you love your brother and you stand by your brother, and one day somebody comes by and firebombs your house, and you're like, how could they do this? And the whole neighborhood rallies around. But then when you get over to the other person's house, you find out your brother raped and killed somebody's little sister.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That is the reality of America.
Yeah.
America's that big brother that brings home candies and sweets and video games, but rapes somebody else's sister.
Take it even deeper.
You know?
They're like, oh no, it wasn't really like that. It wasn't as bad as everybody said it was. You know what I mean? And they try to smooth it over, and every time you go, okay, you're right. It's cool.
America's not that bad.
Listen,
he bring me so much candy. He bring me so much candy. Every
problem that America has is self-created. America has not one problem that is an external source. Okay, what's one of the biggest problems that we have in America back in the days was what? Inner city crime. How did that start?
The funny part about it too is like when it comes to terrorism and stuff like this, these other countries want us to leave them the fuck alone.
Yeah.
Right.
And instead of just leaving them the fuck alone, we sending all our youth them over there to fight and get killed.
You know why they do that, right?
Yeah, of course.
America's armies enforce corporate greed. Yeah. That's what it comes down to, right? Because this is how it works.
And it's quality control. And it's population control at the same time.
This is how it works.
We get money, and we get people killed at the same time.
Yes, and they go. What they do is this is how it works. But before I go into that, I just want to say that, like I said, I want to finish quick the point. Every problem, one of the biggest problems in this country, right? Not right now, but like in the 80s, 90s, right? Was what? Inner city crime.
Yeah.
Still a problem now.
But how did the blacks get here? Did they walk over here? No, they were enslaved by the people that founded America, right? What's another problem? What's our biggest problem? Drugs. The government helped bring them in.
That's a big issue.
Still doing that.
The government helped bring them in. Yeah. So the government self-creates. It self-perpetuates.
When you talk about inner city crime, right, you got to go back to before. You see all these factories, MPS factories we got all around.
Exactly. You're hitting it right on the head.
All the mills and everything.
Philadelphia.
Everywhere.
Baltimore. Yeah. That's why they're predominantly black cities.
It's because they had these mills and they start outsourcing all the jobs to other countries, right? Yep. So now, back in the day, like the inner city people had jobs. You know what I'm saying? They might have been great jobs, but they had like mill jobs, they had factory work and stuff like that.
That's it. And they were still bringing the bread home.
They're still bringing the money in there. So they were cool. Now they outsource all those jobs to other countries, and now these people don't have in the inner city. They don't have jobs no more. So then what? In the 80s, 70s, drugs. Then they bring drugs to
the government was funding that.
The minimum wage too. Now people can get little jobs.
But you know why they do that though? But do you know why they do that? Because the system is
nowadays.
The system is created. People are taught in college, and the system is created to make you a slave up under their system. Do you know the other day I read this thing, and I knew this, but when you look at numbers, sometimes it puts it in perspective. It said the 64 richest people in the world together are richer than the rest of the entire world.
Yeah.
64 people. That means that people are starving. And these guys got all kinds of turkeys and chicken, and they're not sharing. And the thing about it, they work hard for the money. No, they stole, they lying, they cheated.
That's it.
Speaking of sharing, it's actually true. I had to do my research on Twitter. I was kind of surprised that Nicki Minaj had some type of contest going on for someone to go to the billboards with her, and then she was saying that she could fly someone out. and a kid made a joke and was like, "Well, can you pay my tuition fee?" And then she actually like made
That's
a whole
awesome.
contest to pay people's tuition fees. So
I don't think it's an obligation for rappers, but I think that it's cool when they do that.
Cool when you got
Exactly.
actually giving it back.
I don't think it's an obligation.
A lot of these guys, they fucking donate money to places
show?
that not even just for the show,
Tax
but
write-off?
just
There you go.
donate
Tax
money to
write-off.
places that they might get the money back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like just to make it.
Or they're gonna get something out of it, whether it's the publicity or the charity. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like, nah, man, it's all a bunch of
But
bullshit.
I don't move on, but to wrap up the America part, the reality of the matter is the way just I'm gonna abbreviate it real quick because it's a much more complex thing. But this is how America enforces, because people say corporate greed, but nobody really knows, right? This is how it's done, right? People American businessmen or government officials or representatives go into these third world countries that are suffering, and the people that can't feed themselves, and they're rich with minerals and other stuff, but they don't have an infrastructure, so the people are starving. There's no money. They go into these countries, and what they do is they make loans through the World Bank to these governments, and what happens is they make these loans that they know they can't pay back, and a lot of times they're abused by these dictators.
China did it to America.
Yeah.
So they just it's like somebody that got molested doing it to somebody else. They're just redoing what was done to them, but worse. So just to abbreviate it so we can move on.
It's funny.
So they go in.
I was reading an article a long time ago about the like the Akon when he was going when he was doing the electricity thing, and it was a person that was like, he was talking about it. He was like, yeah, they use Akon as the face to basically almost suck, like almost how much you said sucker them into, you know. So it was like China has the solar power. I'm not sure how much truth this is, but this is what I read, and it was like China have these solar panels, and they are not that great, so other people didn't want to buy them, like they weren't selling right in other countries. People weren't buying them, so what they did was, like, Akon, from what I know, Akon was in cahoots with China. They got funding from China to put the lights into Africa, and they was teaching the African people how to install these. So now they think it's like they got lights.
So it's taking money from certain
people. They got lights, and then they be teaching these guys how to trade, how to install these panels. But these are panels that are obsolete everywhere else in the country.
Yeah. I read that too. I read about that.
You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like
about that. I didn't get to look too deep into it.
Yeah, so it's almost like, and then now in return, these countries are giving up basically more than what they can pay for.
And that's that. So we can wrap it up and move on, right? To wrap it up, they come in and they give more money than they know they can pay back. So what the leaders of these countries do is a lot of times they spend the money on themselves and it never trickles down to the people.
No, hell no.
So here's what happens. Then our government, under the auspice of the World Bank, goes and says, okay, we made this loan to you, you got to pay it back. I can't pay it back because they spent it all, and they can't get it. They can't get it from the people because the people haven't made a benefit over, so the people ain't trying to work for it. So here's what happens.
What's the next alternative?
Here's where it comes in. Now here's the two-part whammy how America does this, and this is all proven shit, well documented. They go in and they say, okay, you can't pay back the money. You can't pay back the money. Fine. Allow Coca-Cola or Nike or Gap to open up a factory in here for a fraction of the cost of what the land is worth. And well, that's a village. People live there. Put them in housing, this and that. And we'll let them work at the factory. We'll let the people work at the factory. So the people work at the factory, and now these people were fishing since before there was an established government in cultures that have been around longer than America. So these people, this is some deep shit. People have been fishing for like 1,000 years. They've generated for 100 generations. They've been fishing. Now they've been forced to put a Coca-Cola or a Nike factory in there for a fraction of the cost of what the land costs, and the people are forced to now work. Now they can't fish no more, and the waters of their village are being polluted by the dye from Nike. Right? So now Nike turns around. Now here's the whammy. Now Nike turns around and moves to China because now it's even cheaper in China. So now there's no Nike factory for them to work in, and now they can't.
And now their water's polluted.
So now they got to go sell drugs or prostitute depending on their sex because they can't make Nikes no more, and they can't fish no more because it's been 2 generations they forgot to fish, and they can't make Nikes because there's no fucking factories. Right. Then the United States further ask, through the World Bank for more land, and if they don't give it up, you know what they do? They arm rebels with guns, and they help them overthrow the government and put in a puppet who takes it up the ass from the American government, who bows down and blows America and sells their people out. It's happened in Dominican Republic, it happened in Cuba, it's happened many countries. Many countries it's happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it's going to continue to happen as long as colonialism and imperialism are still a very real fucking thing.
Yep.
We think that because people have independence. The fuck is independence? Puerto Rico has its independence. It's still a fucking territory.
Yeah. That's it.
You know what I'm saying? So it just, that shit gets me so aggravated though, because people are so ignorant of the whole.
Well, they're closed-minded, and that's what it is. Because why? They live in the land of the free and the home of the stupid.
Yeah,
but it's like, you know what I mean? If you don't open and wake up,
the whole process that they're ignorant to.
Talking about this shit.
You know what I'm saying?
About it all week actually. About the government itself. Like I'm just like over it.
I mean, it's
that's just how I feel about it.
The first stage of knowledge is you get angry.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
And then you get inquisitive.
Are you kidding me? Like,
and then you gain, and then you progress in knowledge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And those are the stages. You know what I'm saying? Those are the stages of how things work. So
there's America for y'all in a nutshell.
I mean, it's a brutal thing, and don't get me wrong, I love my country. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Like
but like you said, there's many layers.
It's like
layers upon layers. It is.
Some of the layers are rotted to the core, and some of them are infested with maggots. Some of them are diseased, but some of them are beautiful. Because I mean, like, there's people here. You know, there's people here that wouldn't be able to feed themselves or their families. You know, there's certain countries like the Philippines where like more than 50% of their income is like people, expatriates, people from coming to America and sending money back.
Yeah.
In the Philippines, a large portion of their economy is people that come to America and work and bust their ass and send their money back over.
Oh yeah, and that's just not Philippines. Dominican Republic, you mentioned it too. A lot of people do that too, but that's what it is.
There's a benefit to it. You know,
it is.
There's a benefit to America, and it is what it is. Cash, anything you wanted to talk about?
No, I don't know what y'all was talking about. I was out there.
It's the double-sided coin that is America.
It's the double-sided coin that is America. I mean, we're just talking about how America I was talking about how, like, basically, like, they take more of your land, and if you don't give it up, they send in the military, or no, they arm rebels, and they overthrow you and make it a puppet that'll take it in the ass by America. It happened with Trujillo.
A lot of these
happened with Trujillo in Dominican Republic. Happened with Batista.
A lot of these guys, they're like, we don't want to use the American dollar no more. We'll pay you in something else. So we pay you go, and then guess what happened with them? They get murked.
Yep.
They get taken over with Bitcoin.
Bitcoins, yeah, these Bitcoins are taking over.
I don't even know what the hell they are.
It's called cryptocurrency.
What exactly is a Bitcoin though? Like what?
What
is a Bitcoin?
Bitcoin is like, all right. So this Japanese person, I think they just. Like, nobody really knows who this dude is. It's just a name. It's
Nobody
like a Japanese
knows
dude who really created the system, and it's like a system that you only make. So like American money loses value if you print up more money. The more money you print, the more money loses value.
Inflation, right?
Yeah. So when it comes to Bitcoin, there's a system that was made, a complex system that was made that. Like there's only. All right, put it this way: there's only gonna be so many Bitcoins made. Period.
That's it.
Yeah, and so they predict something like by the time 2030 or 2040 something, there'll be no more Bitcoins made. Period. Right.
So it's not a physical thing. Right?
No, it's called a cryptocurrency.
So it's a digital.
A digital thing. Yeah, and it's
I'm glad you're giving me the info on it.
Well,
I haven't understood what it is.
Well, see, so there's this thing called Bitcoin mining, and Bitcoin mining is like having people have these big ass computer rigs, like big ass computer systems, and they mine Bitcoins. And what the miner does, they basically crushing numbers and coming up with these calculations, and the first person that figures out that calculation gets a Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
I'm kind of confused about it.
And
I see what you're saying. It's almost like they have like a bunch of supercomputers spread out. So like you got one, I got one, Nabi got one.
No, it's not hacking. It's just crunching numbers. Like say if you wanted to find a calculation for this and that,
Right.
Is the system that you have set up, and everybody's trying to follow this calculation. Like everybody's system is trying to follow the calculation. Right. And when you finally find that calculation, that your computer's the one that find it, you get a Bitcoin. You know what I mean? And Bitcoins are actually worth money. when it first started out, Bitcoin was probably like
everybody's big on it right
18.
now.
Let's say, like, let's put it this way: when the Bitcoin first came out, it was probably like 18 cents per Bitcoin.
Right.
But nobody really knew about it because it was like some new shit. Everybody's like, nah, that's some bullshit. That's never gonna work. But then when they started gaining, like they start gaining monetarily gaining over the time, and it's all right. So it's called a blockchain. A blockchain is like, if you try to send me 2 Bitcoins, I can go to the first ever Bitcoin transaction ever. Like I can go to a system and it tells me the first Bitcoin. So every transaction that ever Bitcoin was ever made was kept on a transaction. You can go back and find it. So there's no way you can really fake it. Like there's no way you can really like hack into it and say I got 100 Bitcoins.
Right.
Because I can go through your transactions and your transactions don't add up to 100 Bitcoins.
Right.
You can go through every transaction. It's just like a new system or a new currency system. You know what I'm saying?
It's almost like the online casino type thing, but it's like you're not gambling, but you're actually working.
So it's just something that caught on.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So now people like there's different places that are, like you can go buy a Ferrari with Bitcoin.
I thought, like I heard on the news, that came up that Bitcoin, didn't somebody cash in so many Bitcoins? I think it was in the news like a couple days ago. Yeah. Like somebody cashed in these.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. They cashed in and it was like so much 100,000.
I mean, you can't. Yeah. You can't just like go to anywhere and be like, I got a Bitcoin and give somebody a Bitcoin.
Can you buy?
There's certain places that are there's more every day. More places are.
I'm gonna ask a real question America wants to know. Can you buy drugs with a Bitcoin?
Well, I seen some.
Must be able to buy weed at a dispensary like
you can.
America.
I can transfer Bitcoin into your account.
Then you can subtract.
So it's like you can only buy Bitcoins from somebody unless you're mining them. That's me crunching the numbers.
I don't get that.
Let me get this right.
You're crunching.
But it's all math though. Calculating stuff.
It's all like it's all come back to math.
I'm confused about it.
But
math sucks.
But then no, you create a system to mine the Bitcoins for you. It's like crunching numbers. Like back in the day, the PlayStation 3, you can leave it on and it would crunch numbers to come up with calculation equations for cancer.
I don't know that.
Yeah, so that's basically what a Bitcoin is. So it's like, so that's basically what cryptocurrency do. Or Bitcoin particularly, it is a bunch of people crunching numbers.
Yeah.
And the first person that get that formula, that come up with the answer for that formula, gets a Bitcoin.
So they keep coming up with formulas.
So math genius.
Yeah, so whatever it is.
All the time. You know?
Well, that's what it is. Yeah, Bitcoin. You mine them or you pay for them. So now if I mine a Bitcoin today, I think Bitcoin went up to like 17 grand or something. Like the other day it was 11 grand.
Yeah.
And so there's people that bought Bitcoins for like 18 cents
when it first came out. So it's almost like an investment. So you like some Wall Street. It's almost like you're playing a stock with a Bitcoin.
Right.
Yeah.
Bitcoin, I wanted to learn about that stock investment.
Last week Bitcoins were at 8 grand. This week, buy one. So now I could buy a bit. Like if I want to sell, I want to sell my Bitcoins now. I bought them for fucking $1, you know, in 2012. Now they're worth 8 grand.
And there's a market for it?
Yes.
Crazy.
Now I can sell my Bitcoin to you.
So all the people that kind of believed in it before is kind of getting the
hell yeah.
They got the jump. It's like the people that, you know, when Google first came out, who would have thought Google would be what it is now? So then people invested at Google when it was like 10 cents or 5 cents a share. Now is that, you know,
but at the same time, tomorrow Bitcoin could crash.
Exactly.
Fucking 14,000.
So it's like what he said.
It's like a stock.
Yep. So Bitcoin could be at 14 grand today. Then tomorrow it could be at 6 grand. Then it can crash to nothing. You know what I'm saying? They come back up. It fluctuates every fucking day. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like,
you gotta kind of catch it.
People like I said right now, if you want to buy a Bitcoin right now, it's at like 17 grand or something like that.
That's crazy.
Last week was at 8.
Right.
I mean,
so next week it could go down to 5.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's interesting that the identity of the person who created it. I mean, how does somebody consider something valid? You don't even know who created it. That's
because it's the system. It's all about the system that it was created under.
Yeah.
Like people been trying to do that shit. Like make currency. Like you can't just make currency and just expect it to
without having a backup for it.
But this shit is like it's so complex that motherfuckers that been trying to do it for so long was like, wow, this shit can actually fucking work.
Yep.
And now they have Litecoin. They have a V3L, whatever the fuck.
V3L part of the woman's body.
No, it's part of the man's body.
That's the new V3L. Yeah, there you go.
And yeah, so
Good job, Kyle. That's anatomy 101. Come on, man.
Hold on,
man.
You're telling me there's not some people walking around with boobs looking like a woman that having a urethra?
no, that's
I don't know what an urethra is. That sounds like some kind of makeup. Well, your urethra, that's definitely something.
Actually, Eritrea is a country that used to be part of Ethiopia. My bad.
Well, there you go.
There's a famous line.
Sellouts. They sold out to
There's
Italians.
there's no such thing as chicks with dicks.
Yeah.
It's only men with boobs.
Yes.
All right. So
Only cocks with socks.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on. So let's go back and once again, I've been getting a bunch of fan mail. Basically, my daughter and one fanatic online. And they do want me to go back to the Nabi facts. So here's what we're gonna do: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cash. Pick a number through 1 through
6.
6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. More than a third of Facebook users leave the site feeling worse than before they started using Facebook.
That's true.
I think it's true.
Because
It is true.
because Facebook, most people only show the good shit about their Facebook. Hey, look at me. I'm on fucking vacation. I'm in the Bahamas and we're fucking drinking my time.
That's it.
And then people look at this shit and they be like, you know what? It's like, my life sucks. Wow, you know, these people are doing so great. My life fucking sucks. You know what I'm saying? I'm at home. I can't pay to go nowhere. I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And they feel...
The crybabies.
Not even crybabies. It's just like...
The self-loathers.
Yeah, you gotta be a real chump. You gotta be a real chump to fucking go on Facebook and look at other people's lives. Dude.
Yo.
Got him.
We can't. The DCYF building right there. We can't show that.
That's the Baba.
Yeah, so you know, you have to be a real insecure person. What that really says to me is that majority of people online are insecure.
All right.
That's all that says to me.
Yeah.
People look for validation. People look for validations through the internet. What about you know what kills me on social media? People that you could tell they're full of shit. Like for instance, women who be like, I don't need a man. I'm a queen without a man. But every other post is talking about dudes. If you're such a queen, why are you talking about dudes?
The ones that so bored being single. Oh, I just need somebody to Netflix and chill. I just need.
Sounds in your head when you're reading it.
I'm the opposite when it comes to that. I hate the motherfuckers that be like, I'm going to be single forever. The motherfucker, you 24 years old.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on.
How about this one? I'm deleting this account. A month later.
That one.
I be like, bitch, what you gonna do?
You know what I know, but seriously, you know what I don't like about social media? I really dislike deeply in my heart people who put things on Facebook that they should be having a conversation with that. Like people who have a close person to them and go online and run their mouth about personal business. Where it's like, did you even talk to that person? Like this is a conversation you should be having. Like if me and Cash have a problem, and we have problems from time to time. We've been friends for 20 years. We have problems before and after the show, but you never know. You never know because we don't go to social media. We argue it out. We do whatever we do. We thumb wrestle. We sword fight. Whatever we do.
That's what normal people do.
No, we don't sword fight. You don't sword fight. You would never see a problem between me and somebody and as part of my family we've been friends for 20 years. You're never gonna see. Have I ever aired somebody out on Facebook? Yeah, a guy that I knew for 2 years that went around and was telling hundreds of people I mess with lies about me. So rather than go around and talk to 100 people and make them feel uncomfortable and awkward, I put a general statement out to clear the air. Yep. But somebody I've been down with 20 years, motherfucker, I ain't never put no shit on social media. I'm gonna go talk to that person, and it's like you know the crazy thing about that too is some people you almost have to blast them on social media.
Well, because they hide.
Because not only that, because that's where they're that's what they care about.
That's like their kryptonite.
They care about what everybody on social media thinks.
Right.
So they go on social media and they say certain shit. Like only if they're front and they're lying. Like if they go on social media and try to make themselves look better, then you have to be like, all right, this is what you want to do. I'm gonna go on here. I'm gonna show the people that and it's not the person. For me, it's not what the person says in the post. It's the fucking jerks that comment on the shit.
We had this conversation.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's right. How he gonna do some shit like that? He ain't nothing but a bitch.
And now you go in and shut shit down.
That's what you. That's what the person looking for. The person looking for that.
They're looking for validation.
That validation that somebody tell them that they're right.
Yep.
You right. You exactly. That's exactly what you. So in that case, I don't feel no problem about going there and blasting them. And you want to have a fucking peanut gallery to decide what's going on. Let's put some facts up here and see. Let's go. Let's do this. This what you want to do?
You right to shut shit down.
This is what you want to do?
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And I think that you know, like I said this before, and I got criticized by this, but I really don't care. I got criticized about this. People criticized me for this, and I said that. And I said, you know, have you ever liked somebody until you saw their social media? But it's true though. It's not that it's not that
Actually, I went to that.
It's like you project like this when I talk to you, project this positivity, but everything you say is negative. Everything you put is like fake. And like I know women that act like they're such queens. I always talk about dudes. You're such a powerful queen, but all you do is talk about dudes and other people. It's like you spread negativity. I know dudes that act like they're so successful, but they always got to remind you how successful they is.
Yeah.
Like if you got to constantly remind somebody how successful you are and that you're the man, you're not the man.
That happened to me before. I've been turned off by people's social media. Like I just look at it. I'm just like,
yeah, it's like I thought I liked this person. Like I don't really like this person.
I thought you was really cool, and then I look at your social media. I'm like
you're an idiot.
Well, I mean,
you know,
you can't always. I don't like. Only time I judge people on their social media is if they like contradict themselves.
But
you know what I mean? Like
often though.
Yeah, I mean, so but it's like
that's gotta happen often.
I mean, a lot of people use their social media to be funny. They be sarcastic. They don't really put their real life stuff up there, and it's not like a real personal thing.
Like versus true opinion.
Always is like judge somebody strictly on social media.
And I'm not saying that social media is 100% a indicator of somebody's 100% personality.
But there's some telltale signs.
You see somebody like, for instance, there's people I see online that constantly post pictures of famous people that don't really rock with them like that to try to validate themselves, and that shit is just shows the thickness of your character, like stuff like that. It's like we did years ago. We would miss a lot of these things because we wouldn't see all of this from people. We don't see what they say around us, but now you can kind of observe people. I mean, does it give you a whole picture? No. There's a lot of things about me that people couldn't tell by my social media, and I'm sure it's like that with other people, and I don't mean to be judgmental, but it is what it is. So let's move it on. As Perez, pick a number that's not 6 between 1 and 8.
6.
3. Eating 3 or 4 marshmallows helps you get rid of a sore throat. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Wow, I'm not buying
This is
that
knowledge
shit.
for me.
Like, what do you? It's a marshmallow is the same thing as milk, and milk can do.
Can you
things
believe
for
it until you try it? You gotta try it.
Yeah, you gotta try it.
Sore throat.
I don't try it.
Grab a bag of marshmallows and go hard.
Can I?
3. Why 3 specifically though? Why 2, 3?
Because your throat was like this big, thick 3.
There's little marshmallows. There's marshmallows like this
Why the
big
fuck would you
too.
eat a little one for? When did you go for
Why
the
you
big
getting
bang?
a little one?
You didn't specify. You said 3 marshmallows. You say 3 big marshmallows.
I think that if we're gonna say marshmallows, everybody in here, when we said marshmallows, saw the regular sized marshmallows in there.
What's the regular size marshmallow?
That's what it is. But now see, based on your instruction there, you say, you know, you're gonna fit 3 in here.
Yeah.
You fit one motherfucker in there and you don't lodge it down.
Yeah.
You're not gonna finish the other one because you're gonna pass out.
I mean,
and die. See what I mean? I'm just saying you can't put 3 in there.
That's good garbage.
Listen, I didn't pick that one. I picked it here, but I didn't pick that one.
Hey, that was pure garbage. That should be good.
All right, so pass. Not 3 and not 6. 1 to 8.
8.
As time goes on, humans are becoming less and less empathetic. For people who don't know, empathetic means caring about shit. Empathetic today, we care about others 40% less than people did in the 80s. Meaning that people are desensitized. People don't stop to help. There's a study that shows that people.
We can blame it on social media.
Yeah, that's the it's like the innocent bystander concept. Yeah, for the social media, right?
But it's also a social construct of where you live. Like I've told you the story on Chop Shop before. I told you the story about Chop Shop before. I used to live in Philadelphia. Very
brotherly lovish?
No, very unbrotherly. No, there is a lot of brotherly love. Philly's a beautiful city.
Yep.
Philly,
historic.
You know, Philly, you can get shot on a bus in broad daylight in Philly. I'm not saying that happens every day, but Philly's a lot more aggressive than anywhere in New England. And I lived in Philly, you know, on and off for years. And I always go back and I've seen a lot of crazy shit. But even in Philly, I wouldn't have seen this. I'm not gonna go through the whole story because I've already told it before in the past. But there was this incident where I was traveling. I'm not gonna go through the whole story, but I was gonna go meet a person that I didn't know. I met offline back in the early 2000s when this was a new thing, and she lied about her picture and this and that, and I got stuck with it. I got stuck hanging out with a deaf brother the whole night playing Mario Brothers.
What's that guy's name from Catfish? You needed him.
I forgot. But
Me.
the moral of the story was that I knew the context of because if this happened in Philly or Rhode Island, it would have been a different reaction. This dude got assaulted and kicked in the face by a gang member, and the gang member was doing it just to pick on the guy, and I think the gang member was on drugs. So anyways, he football kicked this dude on the subway train, and it being New York City, the kick happened, and I kind of in New York City. I'm sorry, in New York City.
Yeah,
and I didn't jump up, but I went like this. Everybody else was like this.
Yeah, New York is another.
But that's what it is. That's an innocent bystander shit. Yeah. Yep.
I'm not blaming them. You could get killed fucking looking at people. But what I'm saying is that's a desensitization. That's a lack of empathy.
New York is probably the highest desensitized.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Atmosphere.
At the same time, it's proven that it's more friendly than people think because they did a test on one of them shows. They were dropping wallets and mad people were picking up and giving it back. New York's
but that's different though.
As bad as people think.
No, it's not. I mean, it's a lot softer than it was. Obviously,
it really
in the 80s.
Softer or better?
Depends on the day.
Well, that's what it is. And I think I blame that on the desensitivity as far as the softness.
You could contribute softer with better.
If that happened in Rhode Island on a bus, I'm not saying that people would jump up and defend the dude, but
there might have been one.
There would be a reaction.
Yeah. Somebody's gonna react to that.
Yeah. But check this out. Check it out though. It's really about where you're at, regardless if you're. But check this out.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're from there or not. It's the vibe of the place. Because let me check this out.
Yeah.
I saw something less violent than that happen on a subway in Boston, and I intervened. Because that
it's not as dangerous as intervening.
Yeah.
So it's
and plus that's the vibe of Boston.
I always say this.
You step up in Boston and defend something if you believe in it in Boston.
Boston strong. There you go. Boston strong. That's right.
Listen, it's also the context of it because now that happened and I didn't do nothing because I'm in a train and I'm uncomfortable in New York. But Boston is Boston's my second home. When my mother and father separated, I grew up between Boston and here. And I spent a lot of time in Roxbury, Brookline, Dorchester growing up. You know what I'm saying? So the dude, if that would have happened here, I would have did it. But if it happened in New York, I probably would have did it.
I'm gonna tell you about something about New York, right? You could be a group of people who can be watching a fight, right? So it's like 2 or 3, say a 2-on-2 or 3-on-3 fight, or just like a semi brawl or whatever, and everybody standing around watching. The most dangerous part of that fight for the bystanders is after the fight is over, and the dudes that won are walking away. They're like, you're looking like, they're like, the fuck you want? You get some too.
Yeah,
you know, you get punched in the face. Just for spectating the fight.
Yeah, it's true.
Just for walking by.
Yeah.
They're like, anybody else can get it too? Who else want it? You looking like, you want it?
Nope. Nope.
And you'll get it. And that's the most dangerous part of a motherfucker.
Well, I gotta admit, I've been that idiot to do that. Cause I'm from New Jersey and New York, so I've been that idiot that'll get in a fight and then cause I'm mad and I don't care. Somebody look at me now, I'm like, yo, you can get it too. You know what I mean? I've done that before, and I've done it out here actually. And
that's the most dangerous part of the fight.
Different results.
Yeah, no, it's different. So I got an interesting one, and I think that this is a really good one. I think this is interesting because it's like when you know somebody legendary and you know so much about them, but then as time goes on, you find out different things that they said or did, and you're still impressed. One of the people that's always done that over the years, every couple of years, I find out something new that impresses me is Muhammad Ali. Every few years, I find something about Muhammad Ali that impresses me, right? Like a quote or something, right? So check this one out. This one really impressed me, Cash. When Ali won his first Olympic medal, he didn't keep it. You know what he did to it? He packaged it up and he mailed it and sent it to his teacher, his high school teacher, who once said and taunted him, "You ain't never gonna be nothing."
There it is. There it is. Yeah.
I want to see that bitch shit. I was in a fake ass one. I was in a replica, straight plastic, hollow.
I think if now that was to happen to somebody, they wouldn't do it because people are more confident. But I think that going back to when Ali was coming up, blacks were treated differently than they are now. And I think that Like now, if a black man was told by a teacher, you ain't gonna be nothing and to become something, they'd be like, fuck you, you know. But I think that
niggas still shot ill teachers out.
I'm not saying they don't.
Mm-hmm.
But hear what I'm saying. I think that in the 80s when Ali was coming up, right?
No, not 80s.
Was it 80s?
No, I mean it was like the.
It was like early 70s, late 60s. Right?
Ali, all right, so 60s, 70s when Ali was coming up, more then than now, when a black man succeeded, it was kind of like on behalf of the race. And when a black man comes up now, it's kind of like, oh, I did this, I'm a self-made man. But back in the 60s, 70s, it's like, I did this for my
It was huge because it was for the culture, it was for the race, like that's what it was. Yeah.
So it's kind of like,
especially Muhammad Ali, particularly.
I think he did a move. I'm only speculating because I don't know Muhammad Ali, but I'm just saying that I think that if he was alive in 2017 and that happened, I don't think he would have did that because I think he would have just felt like I succeeded, fuck you. But I think going back,
I don't think it's necessarily
the politics of it. He felt like the teacher was probably white, right?
Maybe not.
But most likely the teacher was white. We're going back to the 60s. It was probably white, right? And he probably felt on behalf of his race, he kind of had to. I'm only speculating.
I think that's more of a personal thing.
I'm only speculating.
I think that's more of a personal. If you give something up that personal to you, like something that you actually earn, blood, sweat, and tears for the shit, and you send it to that person, that's like some personal shit.
What do you do if you're a teacher and you get that? Do you keep it? Throw it away?
You feel like shit.
You hang it up on the wall?
You feel like shit.
That person.
That would be the question. Does that person have it? Yeah.
Put it on eBay?
What do you do?
Another thing I'm gonna say that. Well, does she sell it?
They're not. Gold medals are not really worth. Medals are not really worth that much money.
Memorabilia.
That's true.
Yeah, but
later on,
he wasn't who he was.
Later on in life,
that's what it is. Yeah.
But still, she can get money off of it.
Yeah.
People that win Olympic medals are not really world famous like that. They're acknowledged. Not at that time.
At that time,
who he was.
because you had to be an amateur to be fighting in the Olympics.
Now,
exactly.
We're talking about then. What did they do? If you threw it in the fucking closet and threw it out, you
and then be like, now you can. Now you worth a lot of money.
You put it on eBay.
She put that shit on eBay right now. She's making money.
No, it's like, what do you have to? It's almost like one of those things. Like you really have to think about. That's fucked up. Like, think about like when she opened that shit. Is Muhammad Ali said, "Oh, you said I wasn't gonna be shit. Here you go." Like, what do you do after that? Like what do you do?
Like everything just goes through your mind. Like you feel this. First of all, you feel this small.
Yeah.
First of all, that's small. That's how you feel. And then now everything's processing. Like I just put him through that. He just sent me a gold medal. What do I do with this? I got a gold medal in my living room. Just sitting there. I just open the box. Do I sell it? Do I call him and apologize? Like, you know what I mean?
I don't think they apologize. They probably feel like
I'm gonna say,
apologize.
well, that's what I mean. We don't know. They're not gonna put that somewhere they see every day.
No.
You're not gonna put that in plain sight.
How much you probably failed as a teacher? How many kids did I tell they're not gonna be nothing? If I was a teacher and that was me, I would reevaluate and say,
yeah, exactly.
Did I tell that? Who tells that to a kid? But then again,
hopefully you're not a teacher because then you're in the wrong business.
But again, I was only in 4th grade and I got told by a teacher, go back to Providence, nigga.
Well,
teachers do say shit.
I dropped out of high school, and I was dumb doing whatever. When I was 20, I went to Job Corps, right? Mm-hmm. And then I had a tough time in Job Corps. It was new to me. We got to stay on campus. I had anger problems, but I made it. And I walked across that stage, and the lady looked at me and said, "I shouldn't be giving you your diploma."
Why do that?
Like, and that
did that make her feel better?
I don't even know.
People don't realize
at that moment, I was just like,
for strong people, that gives you fuel to your fire. Some of the successes have happened. It's kind of sad, but kind of not. In spite of other people, like I mean,
that's part of the reason why I'm fighting.
What do they call it? Defying the odds.
Yeah.
It's like. Like for her to say, "Oh, I shouldn't have given you this diploma," I'd be looking at it like,
"But why,
bitch?" Like, I mean, it's like
I just chuckled. I just laughed. I was like, "All right."
Put it this way, man. You never know why a person don't like you.
Mm-hmm. Like, could be their face. You can remind them of somebody they know.
That's the people I don't even like. I just don't like their face.
Some people don't like their voice. I just don't like the voice.
Exactly. So you know what I mean. So it's like on the other side of that. That person has to know they're a piece of shit.
I don't think
and
so.
They just don't give a fuck.
They feel justified.
No, they don't. They know they're a piece of shit. And they just
think that she's a piece of shit.
No. They're a piece of shit. And they want somebody else to feel like a piece of shit just like them.
Yep.
They come to the point where they embrace being a shitty person.
So they want to bring everybody back down to that level.
First class to feel better than a
kind of person.
And
then on top of that, I'm gonna be in a profession where I can control people's lives.
You're supposed to be guided.
I can control people's lives and their destiny. Now I can control what this person do. Like I'm a miserable ass person. Right. I hate my fucking self. You know what I mean? Now they're in control of everybody else's fucking destiny.
That's cool. You can be that honest on the radio like that.
Yeah, sure.
You know what? Can I say something?
He's like, yeah, sure.
I don't think I'm a piece of shit.
Piece of basura. Only on the weekends, and only if it's a Jewish holiday. Yeah. So what I wanted to say is that a lot of people that know me as a radio show host and everything like that don't know that I, for quite a few years, in multiple states and multiple cities, I was a teacher assistant for different grades, high school all the way to elementary school. A lot of people don't know I was a teacher assistant for a long time. Not a traditional teacher assistant, but through a non-profit that did a lot of community work.
City in the building.
Yeah, that's how me and Cash and me and Mike Boston actually know each other.
The rest of the Red Jackets.
Yeah, we did a lot of community work. But anyways, the point that I want to bring in is that I met some little bastards during that time.
Yeah.
Some really bad kids that I personally didn't like their personality. I looked at and said, you know what? One of my kids gonna beat your ass one day. Like I wish that I could go find your father and punch him in the face.
I wish I could be in your class and whoop your ass.
I didn't say this to these kids, but I thought it.
Right.
But guess what? And I can put this on my honor as a man. I treated them the same way I treated the other kids that I liked.
Of course.
Why? Because they're fucking children.
Yeah.
It's my fucking job to educate and mold them and guide them. I don't have to like them. I don't have to. You. What is the point of having a job where your job is to guide people if you're going to pick and choose? You don't get to. You forfeit that right by taking that position. Now, if you just want to be a mentor, you can do that.
You know what's up?
Teacher or teacheress.
You know what's up?
Exactly. Yeah.
Crazy.
You know what? To alleviate all of that, if teachers got paid the money they deserve to get paid.
We live in a country where trash men make more money than
the
teachers do.
And teachers
get tired of going out.
Yo, I was thinking about this shit one day, right? I was like, what if we treated the best teacher in the country like we treated LeBron James? Like, imagine that shit. Like if you treated the best teachers in the country like we treated actors and actresses and shit.
You know what?
Yeah.
It's so awesome. I'm gonna find it, and you know what? I'll find it, and I don't know. Hopefully, we won't get sued. Maybe we can play on another show. Excuse me. There was this clip because I have a lot of people.
Then you got ass in a gesture.
I have a lot of people in my family.
Anybody got rollers? Got some rollers in the building? We got some tums.
I got a lot of very close friends, and like my sister and some of
your sister, your close friend.
Very close. No, and my sister, my sister is my close friend. My close friends.
Sound like a twisted sister to me.
like a kissing cousin.
You need to get the joke. You know twisted sister is?
It's a rock group. Of course I know. I'm not white. Come on. Do you know who they are? Yo. So what I'm saying is that they're into education and stuff like that. So one thing that I really appreciate about that, my friends and family that are teachers, I forgot what I was watching something like about a month ago, and they had this thing where they showed a bunch of teachers, and they had the teachers and they treated them on the red carpet like it was Hollywood.
Oh wow!
And they were like, "Oh, he's the shop teacher," and they had him walk on the red carpet, and they took pictures of the paparazzi, and I thought that was so awesome because
imagine how
there are some people that really put their heart and soul into teaching.
Oh yeah,
exactly. Because they want to do it. Like people have people want to have dreams. Like some people want to be rappers. There's some people that want to teach people and teach kids. That's what they want to do their whole fucking life. And some of them still do it despite the pay.
Can I just say something?
That's what they really love to do.
There are people that want to be teachers and they go to an intern in an inner city school and they say, "Oh, fuck this ain't for me."
Well,
that's it.
In the corporate America,
because they want summers off. You know what I mean? They want holidays, summers. They want them off.
Like so. I get what you were saying about you met some bastards, right?
Yeah, kids I just didn't like.
Well, see, that to me is like a touchy subject because depending on the location as well, you know what I mean? But it can be anywhere. How do you not know? You don't know what that kid is going through at home.
No.
Maybe the kid,
I didn't judge them.
I just
certain kid I just didn't care for.
Now it makes me think like, you know, the bastard kids. You know what I mean? So what
that's why it goes along.
Anybody to talk low on them, you don't even know what they're battling at home.
But that's my point, Perez. What I'm saying is that there are kids that got on my nerves because they were rude and ignorant, and I felt like they needed a smack in their mouth. And there were other kids.
But instead, you guided them.
There were other kids who were absolute saints.
But if we had more people like that,
some of these
how much
kids,
better you think things would be in school?
Some of these kids, some of these kids are just future douchebags of America.
Well, yeah.
Some of these kids are being molested at home.
Yep.
Some of these kids are, but I get. See, listen, I've worked in schools in Providence, in Woonsocket. And I've worked in schools in Philadelphia. I've worked in schools out in Massachusetts. I've worked in schools out in D.C. I've seen everything from, and I've worked out in the suburbs, right? So I've seen everything from schools with all high-tech shit to schools where kids are sharing books that are outdated and kids that can't read. I've been in the extremes. I've been in classrooms where the kids are like, yes, sir, no, sir. And I've been in classrooms where they're throwing the book, fuck you! And they're fucking in 5th grade, fuck you, motherfucker! And they're throwing books and shit. And the teacher goes to tell the parent, and the parent's fist fighting with the parent outside in Philly. I've seen it all. I've seen everything from the kids
a lot
with the great jungle gyms. So in Philly, they've got their playgrounds on top of the fucking schools and cages.
That's what my daycare was in New York on the roof.
A lot of the problem is a lot of kids do this shit because they know their parents is ignorant as fuck. And no matter what they do, their parents are gonna have their back. I don't give a fuck. That teacher tell you to do this. You tell the kids there's all these kids. Their parents are telling them to do this shit.
Can I say something from experience? Because I spoke about it before. The first time I ever came on this radio show. As me, I was one of those bastard kids, and I was one of the ones I wouldn't have liked. Yeah, I was constantly getting in trouble, and I got tired of people bullying me, so I bullied them back. But I was also getting bullied at home, so I was getting sexually abused. I was seeing domestic. There was violence all around me. My mom was on alcohol, drugs, a whole bunch of shit. So
that kind of robbed you of your childhood.
Yeah, for a couple of years, nobody could figure out why is Stephanie's acting out like this. I was getting panic attacks at 9 years old. I was getting anxiety attacks, like screaming, thinking I'm dying. I was like, I didn't want to be in school.
And I bet you acted out. And I bet you probably acted out to get attention sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes I would be like, somebody care. You know, without realizing I wanted somebody to care.
Yeah, if I pass out, somebody's gonna help me. Oh, they care. You know what I'm saying?
That was reassurance. I was so messed up.
I was nobody get attention.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, and that all factors into it. You know what I mean? So. But
teaching altogether is a hard job.
Yeah, it's one of the hardest jobs.
I think so. Yeah,
because you gotta deal with these kids that you don't see every day. You know what I mean? You see them every day, so to speak, but you're not with them all day. You don't know exactly what they're doing, but you're trying to, and then you gotta, and it can be one apple out of the bunch, one bad apple out of the bunch, and it's like. My class is good until this dude nigga start acting up.
Yeah.
Once this nigga start acting up, everybody follow this dude. You know what I mean? So
also sometimes these, the reality is, and we can move on to the subject, is that sometimes these kids are dealing with stuff.
Mad shit up at home.
People don't have a point of reference. All right, so let me keep it real. I love Philly, but the baddest kids. I'm not saying all the kids in Philly, but if I had to pick like some of the kids that were the baddest that I've ever seen. Was in North Philadelphia, right? And that's no disrespect to North Philly. I've got family out there. I love North Philly. I worked there a long time.
So you have to fucking.
But check this out. No, because people get offended though. People, yes, they do.
This is your from what you gathered.
True.
It's not like you just read it in a magazine.
This is from your experience. Yeah, you lived it.
But let me add this, right? But let me add this factor, right? These kids were very disrespectful to the teachers. They were very unruly. Not all the kids. I'm just some of the kids that I dealt with. I dealt with some really good kids in Philly, but some of the kids were very unruly, throwing books, swearing, fighting. Now we're talking about, listen, and I want people to remember what I'm about to say. You have to keep this in your mind so that you can process this. Because for some people, especially people in Rhode Island, this is going to be hard to process. They'll understand what I'm saying, but you're not going to really process it unless you really think about this. I want you to remember when I tell you this, what I'm about to tell you, that we're not talking about college. We're not talking about teenagers. We're talking about middle school. Okay? What I'm about to say. The kids in this environment that were acting like this, there would be 20 kids in a classroom and there's only supposed to be 15, let's say. I don't know the numbers, but so there's more kids than there should be. These kids were sharing books that were outdated. Okay? The teachers were so fucking stressed, and the teachers were actually scared to really
engage.
Because the parent, the mother, would be outside taking her earrings off and taking her shoes off, ready to fight the teachers. I've seen it happen, right? But here's the background factor of this, right? Cash, I want you to hear this real quick.
Yeah.
I was saying that what I'm about to say is about. I want you to remember this is not high school kids. These are middle school kids. The worst kids I see were middle school. So the middle school, one of the middle schools that I ran a program at, I want to tell you. So these kids would throw shit, swear at me, "Fuck you, teacher," and their parents would show up and fight with the teachers, little physically fist fight. But let me tell you the context of these kids' environment. Their playground was not outside; it was on the roof, and it was in a fucking cage. So it was like a prison yard. Okay, so right there, it was like a prison yard, and I'm going to tell you why it was like that. It's not because of why it is like that in New York City. New York City is partially because of violence, but more so in New York City, it's like that because of room, space. Everything in New York goes up. Philadelphia has way more open space, and Philadelphia is not like that. New York, it's not. The reason why,
a fucking huge.
The reason why, I'm going to tell you why they had their thing up there, and why these kids were like that. We worked on a mural project, and we did this community garden project where we call it service learning, and we taught the kids graph system, and we went and built a garden on the graph system because a lot of times these kids don't know how to connect what they're learning in school to real life, right? Like E equals M and is P and equals fuck you. So nobody knows what the hell this means. So we did a thing that really applied to them. But in the background of this garden was this giant mural project that some of my predecessors in the program I worked for helped to put up. I participated in the end aspect of it. And it was a mural of 10 kids, right? 10 faces, 10 young black males from North Philadelphia, all middle school students. And guess what? Two things. They were all dead. And guess what? They were all dead from gun violence. Those are not all the kids that were killed. Those were all the kids that could fit on
the mural, yeah.
10 kids from this one school in middle school have been shot and killed. Not high school students. So you think of the environment that these kids are growing up in. You think they give a fuck about a teacher or a history book about a white man that so-called sailed over here and founded America? They don't give two fucks because their mother's smoking crack and this and that. But the reason why I'm saying it's because the reason why I say it, Cash, is because I don't want to paint a picture like everybody in North Philadelphia is like that, because it's not. There's plenty of people in North Philadelphia, like the Universal Collective. Shout out to Philly X, the Philly Peace Park. And plenty of people that I don't know that raised their kids well and have well-mannered kids. Because I don't want to sound like everybody in North Philly is like this. It's not. But there is a lot of it, and this is everywhere. America. This is Chicago. This is Compton. This is New York, Florida. This is you know what I mean, Miami. These are the inner city neighborhoods where all of this shit is going on, and these kids are acting out. And yes, sometimes I didn't like these kids, but I gotta tell you, I never let them feel it because I understood.
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't let them feel like.
Well, you can, because look what that scumbag teacher did. I told you that in the 4th grade, the teacher called me a nigga. She said, "No, I'm not. I'm white, Spanish, and Puerto Rican. I'm more white than anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm Puerto Rican, black and white. But I got my mother's blonde and blue eyes, and she's calling me because I look different. She's like, we moved because where we lived at was
bro,
the
act like a nigga.
Was and no, when I was younger, I honestly, if I'll show you pictures, when I was younger, I was darker. I got lighter.
You got vitiligo?
Yeah, I got revitiligo.
You got that Sammy Sosa?
No, revitiligo was that's what Uncle Ruck. That's what Uncle Ruck said he got. I got
revitiligo. Yeah, he started out white.
Because I was acting up, but she went to the ways in the classroom. She took I grew up in a multiracial family. And we grew up on the borderline between Providence and Cranston because my family lived more in the ghetto. We're from the West End. We're from the hardest block over there, you know, Cranston Street. Like my family, I was born on Cranston Street, and my whole family, my mother, born and raised all on the West End, Cranston Street. And then, you know, my family ended up, you know, coming into a little bit of money because my grandmother was a semi-professional singer, and they bought a house like if you cross the street from my house, you were in Southside Providence. If you cross the other street, you're in Cranston. So I lived on the opposite side of the street, literally across the street, like walking across the street. So I ended up going to this white school for the first time, because all the time before that I went to school I lived on the West End. I went to school with all black and Spanish kids. My whole, you know, beginning of school, daycare, all of that. I didn't go to school with white kids until we bought that house and we moved over there. And the teacher, I come from I got relatives that are black, I got relatives that are Spanish, I got relatives that are white, and I never heard a racial slur in my house, I never heard the word nigger until I heard it. That's fucked up that I'm from the West End, one of the worst parts of Providence, and I then moved to the south, the borderline of South Side, which is the other worst part of Providence, so-called. And I come from a family that has people in my family have been incarcerated for bank robberies and murders and all types of shit. And I grew up around murderers and mobsters and killers my whole life in my family. But I never heard the word nigga until I heard it from a fucking teacher. Isn't that fucked up? Like, so I'm bringing that up to say, like, it's fucked up. Like your job.
You gotta think about though,
is to educate and guide.
Think about teachers are human too.
You're right.
And they go through shit every day.
But you can't justify calling a little kid a racial slur in the 4th grade.
Hey man, everybody got their moment, man.
I could never do that.
Especially in that setting, because at that point you're a professional, you're a teacher, you got a job to do. So you know what I mean?
I said, "Mommy, what's this word?" And my mother lost her goddamn mind.
She did. That sounds good in theory. I'm a teacher, but you're human. You're human, and at some point in time, like who knows what she went through the day before? She could have found her husband was cheating on her, and with a black dude. She got some black cock, and that's
it. And now he's lost it forever. It's done.
Now she gotta get. Now she gotta get. White women like to be destroyed, or white men like to watch their women be destroyed by big black cocks. That's a thing.
So now
is that the new thing?
That's a thing.
Oh, that's a trend.
No, it's like a whole community of people.
Oh, okay.
So now she goes. So now she
remember to search that. I would have searched that.
She finds out.
You might not see. You might know.
She finds out her husband's been getting some black cock for the last.
Here comes this
6 months.
Looking kid.
You know what I mean? Now she got to go to work tomorrow.
She got to call you the nigga.
I see the funny ass meme one time. I see the funny ass meme.
Curly hair is olive skin.
Bad enough your name is Nobby, so you know.
What
is like you nigger?
She's like, "Tu hablo español?" No, negro.
Can't stand your ass.
Negrito.
The was walking happy as hell. Right
No, he just wasn't some bad shit. But
why you had to be a nigga that day?
Because I don't know, because I
he was acting niggerish and shit, right? That's what it was.
He wasn't Asian.
He probably been a nigga that day.
That's it.
Had enough. I seen a funny ass meme that said that when you went to class that morning and you seen the TV and the VCR and you know he's about to watch a movie, that mean your teacher was up last night getting crunk.
Yeah, I like that.
They were like, all right, guys.
I like that. I'm trying to think back. All right, guys.
I know you walk into class, you're like, oh, she watched a movie today? Hell yeah. Yep. Like this.
Or sometimes she'll leave the room. I'm gonna go over here. You guys just watch the movie. I'll be right back.
They have lives too, you know.
No, you're right. I'm not denying that. So I just wanted to. We should get ready to go to a video, but I just wanted to shout out. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who tunes into the Chop Shop every week. We really appreciate if you go to our website www.uzd.world and click the episode, because that helps us get our likes up. It helps us to generate money and generate things. And we don't ask for donations and all that. We don't ask you to buy nothing from us. But if you could just go to our website and just watch this episode, the real episode, subscribe to the YouTube channel.
We'll get money, so you don't gotta wear these shirts no more.
I don't gotta wear these shirts, and Cash can pay.
That's it. Look at me. I got a Mr. Rogers sweater on, guys. I picked this up at Savers on the way here, just so I can look snappy. You know what I mean?
Cash could pay his child support. But I just want to say shout out to everybody who's continuing supporting us. Shout out to my.
I don't pay
you on that Tyrese.
I don't pay child anymore. I think the highest my child support ever got up to. I got 7 kids. I think the highest my child support ever got up to was like $700.
Shout out! Hold on. I wanted to shout out to everybody. Shout out to Robbie Snooze. Shout out.
My baby Bob, they know better. You know what I'm saying? They want something, I give it to them.
That's it. There it is. Ask and you shall receive.
Yo, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to get the people. Yo,
Wendy Love Edge.
You don't want to get the people involved, right? Keep your baby moms happy. Keep your baby mom happy. You don't worry about that.
That's it.
The old neighborhood. C. Merck. Paul Thompson. Shout out to my Tio Hector Rodriguez.
Take your kids out. Yo, man, shut the fuck up.
You shut the fuck up.
No.
What's up, Kato? Give a shout out to everybody.
This is a roll call right now?
Fuck you. I'm trying to thank them for watching it.
Yo, they happy, they good.
Fuck you.
You know what I'm saying?
So
And that's how we do it. We keep you happy.
So let me tell you what you think about this one, Cash. So here's another. But there's only a couple left, so. So check this one out. I thought this was interesting. It's this
Probably
fact.
not.
No, this fact was interesting because I actually did a little research into it. There's actually people who wrote in whole papers on this one subject. A study found that men are not funnier than women. They just make more jokes and attempts than women do. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's true. You know why? Because you know what? I'm gonna say this.
I want to know what you thought about this.
Women are funnier when you're not having sex with them.
What does that have to do with it?
Because
What
like,
the hell does that mean?
because like, once you have, once you,
Yeah.
I don't even know.
I'm trying to hear. I want to see what. Yeah.
let me finish.
I don't even know what it means, but I want to know.
I'm not trying to get in trouble with no women. I don't even know what to say to that. What the hell?
Aside from my girl's fucking hilarious. She's one of the most funniest people I've ever met in my life.
So every other woman
But, no, not every other one. But I'm talking about like, all right. So look. Let me say this. Like, I can think your girl is funny as hell, but you don't.
Yeah.
After like majority of the time, after you have sex with a woman, things change.
It's true. Girl,
They're not as free as saying certain stuff they are around you. They won't say this, they won't say that. But if you guys are just friends and you're not having sex and you guys just chill and hang, women are fucking hilarious.
So I get what you're saying.
Yeah, okay.
All right,
Yeah.
all right, let me break this down.
I got you on that.
So what you're saying is that the men that you have sex with are not as funny as the women you have sex
you
with.
have sex with. You know? No, you know.
I was like into it too. I was like, wait, what?
So
Yeah.
you know what it is?
Yeah.
I think that guys
Mess with the bulls, you get the horns.
I think that guys think that they're more funnier than they are.
You know what? Guys try to be funny to be
You think
more
to women more or to other men?
more morally with women. You know what guys do?
I agree.
You know what guys do?
I agree.
Like women generally love funny dudes.
I think that's I think that attracts them.
It attracts them because like,
You can make them laugh. You can more likely to
and you know why? This all goes back to the whole shit because women are funny as hell.
Women are pretty funny.
They don't always let you into that part of them.
Maybe that's what makes it more funny because you don't expect it.
No, I think they just don't let you into that part mostly, but until like if you're a funny dude and they think you're funny, they'll accept you more. So guys try to be funny. To be more accepted, and then like, all right, so we're taking another step further. So like, if me and you are making a joke, we're fucking cracking up. This corny ass nigga come over like, how about this? Shit's not funny, bro.
Especially if you said it like that.
Yeah, it's just not funny.
How about this?
That sounds like a knee slapper.
There it is. God, who is?
I'm a woman because I try to make
Women-
I try to impress.
Women around.
Yeah, but you
Listen.
have a masculine vibe. You're the man in
That's
the
what I was gonna
relationship.
get at.
Well, let me tell
You're
you.
the one with the rubber Johnson in the
Wait, hey,
relationship.
hold on.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, listen.
I'm just saying. More
We
likely.
both can be.
Let me say this.
Yeah, but you're not.
That's it.
Listen, let me.
Listen.
That's it.
That's Perez. Let me say something.
That's Perez. You're a family. I see the way you walk.
That's Perez. Let me say this. Airing out.
I hate him.
This is
Yeah, I get shit off sometimes.
Somebody strapped on.
That's Perez. This is your masculinity. This is Nobby's. I mean, it's not that far.
Yeah.
But I'll say this: sitting in a house with five. Who's the funniest motherfucker in my aunt? My aunt's hilarious.
Yeah.
My aunt is hilarious.
My aunt's hilarious. My aunt's hilarious.
Sit in the house with five women that you ain't having sex with.
You know the problem
And
with
watch the
dudes?
fucking hilarious dudes.
Oh, yeah.
Dudes are fun. Dudes are, you know the problem with dudes?
Once you start having sex,
Yeah, it changes.
now it changes. Now
Because
what it is. You laugh at that nigga? Oh, he laughing at you? Oh, you that funny? Oh, you that funny now?
So if you're in a room with five men and there are men that are extremely hilarious, but the thing about the difference between men and women, it only takes a split second for it to go to telling jokes to what motherfucker you got a problem like with men.
Well,
So you know what I'm saying?
happens.
But then it takes a split second for y'all to get over it too.
But it's different.
Yeah, drop shit fast.
Not really. Not so much. You know what the difference is? What you said. A roasting session with men can turn into a fight.
A lot of times it does.
But what happens with women is they don't admit that they're mad.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh yeah.
So now
You're
they
right.
have animosity
right.
towards the person that was talking shit about them.
Yeah,
so
you're
now
right,
they're like, yo, well, how come we was cool before? Like, well, how come you had that
She
problem
acting
now?
funny
She
today.
acting funny, you know what I'm saying? Because you roasted her, and she's gonna come out to everybody and feel like,
Listen,
oh,
you won't believe how many women I've roasted in my lifetime because I'm an asshole sometimes. And then the next day they're like, yeah, fuck you, and I'm just like,
they won't come out and say like.
I gotta come out and bring the pepper, like damn, you took it that serious?
I be like that.
I got one more before. I got one more before going to the video. Like I said, I'm gonna put it right here. Oh, I'm gonna put it right here.
Women are fucking hilarious, though, man.
Yeah.
Women are fucking hilarious. I love hanging out with women that I ain't having sex with. Except for my girl. My girl's fucking hilarious. My girl's one of the only people that. One of the only women I can just sit there and laugh at, like literally laugh, like not just fake,
Like actually just laugh, like yo, I can't even breathe. I'm laughing so much.
And the funny part about it is my girl don't laugh no more. Like I see some dumb shit, you look at me and go,
Yeah.
and she don't even laugh at my shit no more.
So here's what last one. I got this last one, and then we're gonna get ready to go. Weed was used to treat absent-mindedness in ancient China. What do you think about that? Mindedness, yeah.
Where?
In China, ancient China. So if a person was forgetful, they would prescribe them marijuana. We're also talking about at the time. This is back in the days when they used to drill your head to let the demons out if you were sick.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Where, in China?
No, in the middle. In the middle.
Well, we can't correlate that with
Europe.
China. At the same time, we was also fucking hanging witches in Salem.
Yeah, burn.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, burn.
I mean, if you're gonna correlate the shit together, but
Yeah.
well, we'll say this. We're talking about sativas and we talking about different strands of weed. They're all used for different shit. I mean, if you need to go to sleep, you know, maybe in China at the time they had a grasp on how, like we do now. Like there's motherfuckers making weed to
The dispensary, yeah.
They're making weed to stop headaches.
Yep.
They're making weed for menstrual cramps.
They make weed for even mental problems, to be honest.
So
True though.
I mean, I can understand that. You know what I mean? Maybe because we've been suppressed when it comes to like the weed technology up until like a couple years ago.
Well, now it's become to the point where we're seeing a difference in the industry because things are being more industrialized. Now you're seeing like instead of just seeing a fucking rough little brownie, you're seeing like classy cupcakes and shit made because now people have industrial kitchens and shit.
Well, think about this.
Decriminalized, right?
Well, think about this, man. Like, what they tell us about weed 10 years when we was in high school in the 1990s, 95, 96, 97.
It was bad.
What did they say about weed?
It's bad. It's gateway drug to heroin.
Not only that, it kills brain cells.
Kills brain cells.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
But it does it. It puts them to sleep. But
No,
it also elevates
it doesn't kill brain
It puts
cells.
them to sleep sometimes.
It doesn't kill brain cells. They told us that weed specific. When they did the test, yo, I read an article. I don't know how true this is, but I read an article about how they came up with the long-term effects of weed, and they had these monkeys and they had these dudes in gas masks and they was pumping weed into these monkeys, like pumping like more than the person can consume.
Yep.
At one time, you're giving a monkey like fucking a half ounce of weed at once through a gas mask,
Right.
and then you're looking at the fucking outcome of it,
Yeah.
and you're going like, oh, it kills brain cells, it does this. You know what I mean? Anything you fucking abuse, you drink too much water, you're gonna die.
Yep.
That's true.
There it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now, years later, after they lied to us and told us how bad weed is,
Now it's the miracle drug.
now it's a miracle drug. Because you can make money off it, and you can get money out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, before, like,
That was like the biggest campaign to keep people off of marijuana. Like they was having like they made movies like short films and would present them in school of like, you know, your average American teenager out there smoking dope as they used to call it, and then make them go through these like ridiculous scenarios that I've never in my life seen people get this high, like jumping off buildings or running into traffic and things like these outrageous scenarios. You know what I mean? Just to try to kind of deter, and then that's how it got, you know, criminalized, and that's how they kind of took it off the market. But
a lot of drugs, like I said before, like no matter what you do, if you abuse it, it's bad
Of course.
for you.
But that's for anything, like you said.
Right. These drugs. Well, they made weed illegal way before the 70s, but there was like drugs, like the psychedelic drugs, like acid, and these other things that was like make it actually not really bad for people.
No, some of these are on the government list. If you look them up, these were like Schedule 2 drugs. Like heroin, coke heroin and coke were actually used in medical practice, like as a norm back then. Like and the derivative of opium before became opiates, like opium. You know what I mean? Before they scheduled it.
What they say, they used to use coke and Coca-Cola, literally.
They used to use the coca leaves back in the day before coke was manufactured. Like the workers in the South American countries, they would just eat a coca leaf and get energy. Because like coke, so they was giving like black workers coke.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Coke,
so they can work more.
Maybe up, and then coke was illegal, made illegal, and they used black people as a downfall for that. They say, you know what? When these black guys use coke, there's one story. They said, hey, a black dude was on coke. He got shot 10 times. It was still come. This coke was making these black people until, but
like superhuman.
What it really was is the people that were against government things,
like government regulations and whatnot.
Like all right, we go to the 70s. All the hippies were anti-government, and at that time, like acid wasn't really illegal. What's the other one? It starts with M. Mescaline. Mescaline wasn't really illegal in the 60s. And then when the government started figuring out all these anti-government people on these drugs, weed, coke.
That's when things became a problem.
So now, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna make them shit illegal, so I can lock them up.
It's all a money thing too, though.
And that's now a form of control. It's a control thing more than a money thing. It's a control, like Cat's was saying.
But more than the money. Making money.
But more than the money. Like, if you make something illegal, that almost makes people want to do it more.
Right. But what
that's
I mean
a part
by
of
the
it.
money, but I mean by the money aspect of it, I mean like you got these people that start doing the drugs or drinking even, because drinking's still legal, and then they abuse it. So now they need health insurance to go to these rehab centers, and it's all a vicious cycle.
Yeah,
and it's like it's bullshit. It's still ran by the government. They're doing this to us.
Even more with that, it's food.
Yeah,
I can put all this bullshit in food and like chemicals, like hair grease, perfume. I can put all these chemicals in this shit that's going to give you something to eventually, when you use it enough, you're going to have to go and get some kind of treatment for cancer. When one day I was going to a store to get a drink, right? And I was looking at my phone, and for some reason, before I walked into the store, I looked at the phone, and the first word I seen was diabetes.
Oh wow!
Right? So I was like, I'm gonna go in this store and I'm gonna get the drink with the least amount of sugar in it. Nigga, I was in the store for 25 minutes. A little ass corner store, nigga, looking at every drink.
Trying to get something with
nigga, even the water has sugar in it.
I could not find a drink that had less
chemicals in it.
Yeah, listen, it's not even the water, it's the bottle.
Yeah, the bottle itself has chemicals in it. That's what I meant to say,
Nigga, I could not find a drink. I used to drink like 2 big ass Gatorades a day.
Yep.
Nigga, I could not find a drink. Look how much sugar that Gatorade
it got a lot of sugar.
I could not find a drink that had less than 1.5 ounces of sugar in that little ass fucking bottle.
In a 16 ounce or a 20 ounce. Yeah. There it is.
If I poured a fucking 1.5 ounces of sugar in a fucking bag, it's gonna be like this much sugar, nigga. Like that much sugar. And that's in that one fucking thing. And then you drink 2 of those a day. You drink almost a 1/4 pound of sugar and 2 drinks. So now you gotta add on the snacks. You gotta add on all the other shit you add on.
The rest of your daily calories.
About 1 pound of sugar a day.
Here's my point for this. It's tough being a human.
There it is.
Like everything is.
But what do they tell you? It's like you dehydrated. You go to the doctor. They either tell you Pedialyte, drink Gatorade. You know what I mean? Drink Gatorade. This is what the doctors are telling you.
Another thing too, Gatorade is like high in like salt and sodium and type shit.
Yeah.
Electrolytes and like if you're not.
Sucks that I love Gatorade.
If you're not really going out there and expending that energy and sweating, and you just drinking Gatorades, you can also get high blood pressure from the shit.
Exactly. Yep.
It's true.
Just fucked up. So we go to motherfucking video, man.
That's it.
Crazy, man.
That's it. Big up to America for keeping us humble. You know. You know.
Say I'm an animal, the most wanted, the most hated. I'm an animal now that I made it. Close friends don't like my life. They don't like me. They think I wanna fuck their wife, but I'm good. I'm just chillin'. Niggas treat me like I'm the villain. Okay, I play that role. Now it's time for the QB Dawn to take control. They say I'm an animal, Jack. Why's that? Cause I'm running around with the max. Ox Brim, what it is, bro. Rest in peace, your Cody Cisco. Tracks murder, yeah, we spittin' that murder. I been a hot nigga, free Bobby Smurder. They say I'm an animal. You know what they say? You are what you eat. They say I'm an animal. Now it's time for me to take over, done. They say I'm an animal. Then it done. See what they did, right? They say I'm an animal. Y'all made me like this. I got infamous in my blood. I'm 3 in my veins. I'm a product of my environment. That's why I'm still going through pain. Maintain, that's what they say. Jealousy, envy, break up groups every day. I'm an animal by nature, but I'm a human by heart. If I eat some food, I gotta finish what I start. No remorse, fuck them all. I'm too busy making phone calls, photo shoots, video shoots. First infantry with me, I got my troops. And we ready, and we armed. You better back the fuck up, remain calm. They say I'm an animal. You know what they say? You are what you eat. They say I'm an animal. Now it's time for me to take over, done. They say I'm an animal. Then it done. See what they did, right? They say I'm an animal.
About to be on some real murder shit, eh? I'm telling you, man. Any nigga that ever looked at me wrong owes me money or ever said any jealous bullshit about me is fucking dead.
Villains, villains, villains. All I see is fucking villains. Villains, villains, villains. In my hood, fucking villains.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yo.
So
I got crying kids.
I got my son Little Judah in the background crying, making noise. So you know, like I was saying earlier, thank you for everybody for tuning in. Whether you watch it on Facebook, hopefully you watch it on the actual stream. The website www.uzd.world.
Like get worded already.
Not a .com, not a .net.
Nope.
.world.
.world, cause we global, baby.
Lisa, can you take them out of the room, please? Because we're trying to. We got the youth them in there. They always want to.
What? I'll be here.
All right, good.
Not you.
2 o'clock we'll be interviewing camera on.
Yeah, I'm gonna snuff that nigga. I'm letting him, yo, son.
Actually, what day?
Thursday.
I'll be at work.
Oh yeah, I'll be at work. Oh damn.
I'm leaving work. I'm done.
I'm leaving work. Oh, I'll take my lunch break.
Oh hey, don't forget.
Yeah, I already know.
We're interviewing you. Okay. We're doing an interview for Ruckus. Wait till you see the flyer. It's gonna be awesome. You're gonna love the flyer. Like I got a special one made up for you.
Oh damn!
Special.
There it is. Special guest coming for you next week. Watch out.
This flyer that I got. I'm not even gonna tell you guys. I got G's got a special one that nobody knows about.
Fly in the piece of paper bearing my name.
So
Hottest chick in the game.
Next week we're gonna be interviewing DJ Ruckus, who has been a staple in the New England hip hop scene for many years. He was the first person to hire
DJ for Jesus.
Hire what do you call it?
Jesus DJ.
Fetty Wap. First person to bring Fetty Wap into a real actual show outside of like a YouTube type of thing that he brought out of his state. Ruckus brought him here. He's brought Styles.
That's the first thing out of all the accolades that Ruckus has in his resume.
I was about to say.
I want to say that motherfucker still owes him money. But it's true though. So
damn, making my hometown.
That's it. He's out there now.
He's brought Styles P here, Cassidy, Jada Kiss, Chief Keef, all kind. Oh, you know, cause Ruckus is with DJs. Ruckus is a DJ and he's successful, so he doesn't always bring people that he necessarily likes. He brings what makes money, So we're gonna be talking about that because I think that Ruckus walks a fine line between like what he thinks is real hip hop and what makes money, and he's somebody that can talk about.
At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying. Nothing. He would never be. He would never be like was the consensus. The consensus would never be one way or that way with Ruckus. It's always like Ruckus ain't did this or he ain't did enough or he did this. Like he can never be perfect. Like he's one of the dudes that can, like no matter what he does, some people gonna love it, some people gonna hate it. You know what I mean? It's like
success breeds envy. And he's been successful because he's brought some of the biggest names in hip hop to the smallest state in the country.
Yep. And he's also Keith Murray's DJ.
Keith Murray DJ. We'll talk about that. We're gonna bring.
Keith Murray.
And we're gonna talk about the second time I caught Keith Murray in the stage dive.
Nah, I think
But that's that's my claim to fame, though.
Oh, okay. All right.
With that being said, next Thursday. We'll be same back channel.
Oh, and then the Thursday after that, we'll be interviewing Mickey Fax and Mikey J, who's part of Terror Squad. Mickey Fax is a battle MC who's done some great battles against Daylight, some other people. Mickey Fax actually doing some verses. Check him out. You know what I'm saying on Facebook. Mickey Fax is from New York City.
Check that
out a lot. He's a friend of BX Young Cheeses, who's not here because he's at tying knots at the Boy Scouts right now.
We'll making cookies for the girls. The Boy Scouts make cookies for the Girl Scouts.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Tell that corny joke that I got kicked out at Boy Scouts eating a brownie.
No, this is when we sign off.
You gotta sign off, Scouts Honor. You gotta sign out with Scouts Honor.
Next Thursday. You know what I'm saying? 6:30
Eastern Standard Time. We gotta say that because some of our 28%
6:38.
viewers, you know that 28% of our viewers are in Iceland.
Yeah, so they're in the future.
Standard American time.
That's right.
All right. We love y'all. Universal
Chop.
Peace.
Peace.
Coalition.